We're live on
Woo.
Facebook. So good
Hi,
timing, good
everyone.
timing, good timing.
Yeah.
What a great day. Here we are. Almost spring.
Yeah. It's going to be
We-
great today. I've already raked for 2 hours this morning.
You what?
I said I've already raked for 2 hours this morning.
Have you really? Wow. We got cold weather
Yeah.
today. Yesterday we were 75 degrees. And
Well,
today,
you keep it there.
yesterday it was 75 degrees. And today it looks like it's going to be maybe 40.
Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be
Plummeted,
62 here. 62 today.
And then we got high winds. That was the bad part. We got 50-mile-an-hour winds.
Mhm.
But did you
They're
see
blowing
Mount
spring in.
Rushmore is burning up?
It is?
All the forest, all the dark forest around Mount Rushmore is on fire. There's a big fire out there, and this wind, this 50-mile-an-hour winds are driving it. They're evacuating homes and everything.
Too bad.
Yeah, they closed some interstates around here because it was so windy. It was blowing trucks off the road.
Really?
Yeah, that's how windy
Wow.
it gets here.
Crazy.
But we don't have any trees to stop the wind in North Dakota. So
I know. You're like a
Yes.
bear state.
Yeah, you were here, so Yeah, yesterday afternoon it was. I mean, the sky was cloudy because of the dust in the air. I mean, we had limited visibility because of that. But
Why don't
anyhow,
people plant trees out there?
I don't know. More farmland, I guess. They're
Huh.
tearing them. They're tearing them down right now because all the old trees that they planted in the 30s are dying. Because they've gotten too old, and they're tearing them down because we haven't had those really dry years in a long time, and so they're tearing them down. So that's a whole nother discussion we could spend a day talking about. But
What are we going to talk about today, Doc?
we're going to talk about weight loss, weight management.
Weight loss.
Yeah,
Okay. How much weight have you lost?
I'm not quite 40. I'm still pushing. I lost a pound from last week where we were. That's it.
Great. That's good.
But I look at it like this. I mean, if you take a look at how many calories does it take to burn a pound of fat, right? There's 9 calories per gram of fat.
Mm-hmm.
9 calories per gram. And there's 27 grams in an ounce. Correct?
Wow.
And so that
You say
means
so.
that means you have to burn. So there's 27 grams, and there's 9 calories per gram. So 27 times 9, right? To burn 1 ounce of fat.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and there's 16 ounces in a pound.
Mm-hmm.
So 27 times 16 times 9. That tells you how many calories you have to have deficit to burn 1 pound of fat. If you mess up, let's say
if you're counting calories.
Yeah, if you're counting calories, but burning weight is burning weight, and you got to burn the calories, and so even with keto, you got to have a deficit. The thing is that you switch your body into a fat burning mode, and it burns the fat, versus if you're burning sugars and carbohydrates. So a lot of people don't get that, and I cheat once in a while, and it takes me a couple of days for my body to get back into the fat burning mode. I went to my mom and dad's on Sunday, I'm pretty good when I go down there now. My mom and dad know that what I'm eating, and so they don't cook a lot of potatoes. They don't make sandwiches and stuff when I come down there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
that's good.
Yeah, you learn how to watch.
To have your family on board.
It really is, and so you start watching different foods that are not keto friendly, like carrots. Carrots aren't really keto friendly, but other vegetables are.
Yeah.
Broccoli is. Broccoli's keto friendly, but carrots aren't, right? Onions aren't. Our onions aren't keto friendly. I
Really?
just don't know. Yeah,
Avocados are.
avocados are because they're fat. Cream, you can have cream, but you can't have milk. I like that. I've actually gotten
Yep.
used to.
Heavy cream.
I consume heavy cream now. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Yep.
it. You know, it wasn't hard to get me to switch over to that. And I use a lot of avocado oil. I'll add avocado oil to a lot of different things. Coconut oil, MCT. And I think we talked about this before, that when you have gallbladder issues, a lot of people, they think that the gallbladder is where your bile is made. It's just stored there. Bile is actually
Mm-hmm.
made in the liver, and bile is necessary for processing fats. But they found that coconut oil, MCT, medium chain triglycerides, it doesn't need bile in order for your body to emulsify it, in order for it to use it as energy. Did you know that? So
I think we
that's
talked
why.
about it before.
Yeah, but I'm just kind of reiterating it because a lot of people don't grab these calls every week, and so I found that was
Yep.
really interesting. And the reason I looked it up was a friend of mine. He asked. He said, "Well, hey, I have my gallbladder removed. What fats can I eat?"
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I have a hard time processing fats." So I looked it up for him and like, "Well, that's interesting. That's interesting." I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a good one to share. So I consume a lot of coconut oil and avocado oil because of the oils that, bypass the whole liver step in there, for making the bile. So it makes it
Mm-hmm.
easier. All these little tips that we can pick up on it, Andrea. And I use that app that you told me about,
Carb manager. Yep.
Carb Manager. I really like that because I can throw my food in there really easily. I've been using it now for 4 months, and I can look
Mm-hmm.
back and I can see where did I start 4 months ago till today, and I can see how it's educated me on what foods to
Mm-hmm.
eat, because
Yeah, your knowledge evolves.
it really is, because it's not just weight loss. I don't want to lose the weight and then come back in 2 years and have to lose it again, and 2 years later. And we see people that, famous people
Mm-hmm.
that do that. They go on a weight loss plan. They buy special food, and it doesn't have any nutrition in it, and they lose weight, but most of the time they don't look healthy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So with this one, with what I'm trying to learn is what vegetables can I have, because I know that vegetables are jam packed with nutrition. So even though I'm on a higher fat diet, I still want to get lots of my nutrition from my food. I don't want to have to take all my nutrition from a pill.
Right.
Right. So I look at things like, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. I said, we have a vitamin B12 deficiency epidemic in this country. So we really want to
Yep.
make sure that we get plenty of the vitamin B12 and B vitamins in general. Magnesium, you've talked about magnesium a lot.
Right. It's good for your heart and your brain.
Yeah. So this morning I was reading an article, Andrea, and I thought this was kind of interesting. They were talking about, because you and I have talked a lot about brain health. We've spent a lot of time. I mean, if we were to talk about one subject probably more than any other, it's probably been the subject of the brain, hasn't it?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. What subject would you say that we've
Maybe.
talked about?
Recently we did.
Hmm?
Well, we've talked about the gut a lot over the last year too.
Yeah, we have. Over the 5 years, it would probably maybe be even to brain versus gut. But it's interesting. There's a huge connection between the two.
Right. Definitely.
So I found it interesting this morning. There was a new article that came out in one of the science journals last year in 2020, late in 2020. And I was just reading this article this morning, and they were, we've talked a lot, or the science talks a lot about these amyloid plaques and the tau, the tangles, how the nerves, they get all messed up because of amyloid and tau. And they've been spending a lot of times talking about genetics, and they've been talking a lot about what causes this, and it wasn't that many years ago they talked about there being a possible connection between sugar and Alzheimer's disease and brain health.
Yeah. So what the article say?
So the article was talking about how they've really nailed down, and they found that that they've confirmed it, that your processed carbohydrates, sugar, is what triggers the tumor necrosis factor, which triggers the body to build these tau and amyloid plaques. So it's linked to that, and they found the main culprit. Guess what it was? Processed sugar. Which one?
I don't know.
High fructose corn syrup.
Oh yeah, and they stick that in everything.
Everything.
I was looking at sausage. I was going to buy sausage the other day, and they had it in sausage.
Right? Yeah. Well, they got to put some sugar in the sausage to get it so that it cures. But yeah. But why can't they use regular sugar? Why can't they use cane sugar? Pretty crazy.
They can, but it's more expensive probably.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's more expensive, but it probably is. But I remember way back when I had my clinic. This was in the early '90s. The local newspaper, the Fargo Forum, they had an article, and it was a headline. It says, scientists are perplexed. They can't figure out why our children having obesity problems. Why is it? And I wrote a letter to the editor, and I addressed the issue, and I said, well, it's because we eat too damn much sugar. And then I got a reply back from the president of the local sugar company, Mindak Sugar Cooperative in town here, and he wrote back, and he said I should talk about chiropractic and not talk about nutrition, because he said sugar's good for you. Right? I mean, that was in the 1990s.
He just played his card.
Yeah, that was like 40 years ago, Andrea. That was the thought, was that, they still thought that sugar was healthy. It was a good source of fuel for the body. Think about that. And we haven't changed. I mean, we aren't having the ads that are saying eat more sugar, it's good for you. But they used to run those ads. Do you remember seeing those ads in magazines? Eat more sugar, it's good for you. Don't be the scrawny kid on the beach.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, don't be that scrawny girly man on the beach. Eat sugar.
We used to take a slice of white bread, mind you, because that's what everybody ate, white bread.
White bread.
And smother it with butter, and then dump sugar all over it and eat a sugar sandwich.
Sugar sandwich. Butter and sugar.
It was yummy.
It was yummy. I remember doing that.
Well, when I grew up, you put butter on everything.
Yeah, butter. Yeah.
Yeah, when I grew up, you put butter on everything.
Yeah, but sugar, you put sugar on there.
Yeah.
Interesting. We did that with lefse.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what lefse is? So lefse is like a tortilla, except it's made out of potato flour. It's rolled out real thin, like a corn or a wheat tortilla shell, like a soft shell taco, like a Norwegian soft shell taco. It's a Norwegian food.
Gotcha.
but I'm not Norwegian, but we really enjoyed eating it. So my mom learned how to cook it. So at holidays we have
I
less,
see.
but yeah, but it's potatoes versus wheat. So I suppose it's a little bit healthier, isn't it?
It's wheat versus corn.
It's potatoes.
Not today's. Oh,
Huh?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. Well, anyhow, so I mean, the whole thing going back, we're talking about sugar. We shouldn't consume sugar. So I've lost almost 40 pounds. By the end of the week, by Easter, I'll be down 40 pounds. So I'm a little bit behind
That's
where I
great.
wanted to be. By Easter, I wanted to be 45 pounds down. So I'm 5 pounds off my goal, about 10%. So I'm 90% of my goal, and that includes, Christmas, and that
Mhm.
includes breaking my back and being inflamed and not being able to do any exercise for nearly a month. And
Right.
that included two basically mini vacations. Actually, more than that, 3 weeks of vacationing. So considering I'm only 10% off of what my goal was that I set in December, I'm doing pretty darn good. Most people by now that set their New Year's resolutions have already failed. It's like 90%
Yeah.
of people have already failed and quit their New Year's resolutions. And I'm trying
Oh,
to
you're
tell
gonna
people,
have to stay in deep ketosis the rest of the week.
yeah, well, I mean, and not just for the week, Andrea. My overall goal, it's not 45 pounds. My overall goal is I want to lose, well, it's 76 pounds from where I started.
That's a good goal.
Yeah,
You'll
and
be
I
like,
think
you probably already feel like the new man losing what you've lost.
I went for a walk yesterday with my dogs when it was so nice out. It was about at noon. It was about 65 degrees, and me and the dogs went for a walk. And I walked about 4 miles with them, and I thought, "Holy cow, do I feel good?" I
Yeah.
can feel that 40-pound loss of weight on my legs. I can feel it on my back. And what I like about this diet we're showing people, that we're promoting, it's a fat burning diet. So
Mhm.
I'm not just learning weight. I'm not just losing weight. I'm actually losing fat, and I can tell. You can see it in my face. If you look at old pictures of me, you can see it. If you look at the way my clothes fit, I pulled out a pair of blue jeans because I'm too cheap to throw my clothes away. So I went in my closet and I pulled out some blue jeans that I haven't worn in over 2 years. Actually, I think it's closer to 4 years. And I threw them on Sunday, and they fit. And they fit good. They fit loose.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So I enjoyed that, but so when you're losing fat, you do a lot of other things. You take stress off the arteries, which takes stress off the cardiovascular system. If you
Mhm.
do it right, you take stress off the liver, and you allow your liver to process food. The chemicals and the toxins that we're exposed to, and because we don't live in a plastic bubble, Andrea.
Right.
And if we did, you'd be breathing in BPA. There must be a delay. I'm watching your face from when I say something to when you react. There's like a couple second delay.
Yeah.
I can tell.
I
But
don't know. Maybe I just don't think that fast, Doc.
you need more brain vitality. It's back in stock.
I know.
Brain fog. But I mean, hey, we talked about brain fog a lot, and the age pill sure helped out with that. But when you're doing the weight loss, there's ultimately most people are going to have a nutritional deficiency because they skip something, right?
I assume.
That's why we still need Spectrum X, we still need Fucoiden, we still need Eternity. Uh, I was listening to a call with Tom Jr. this morning, and he was talking about the importance of them. I'll have that call posted later. I recorded it. But he was talking about the importance of having the Encompass 360, our multivitamin, because we do have nutritional deficiencies. We do have nutritional deficiencies in this country. And you and I have talked about it a lot. I mean, the need for vitamin K and the need for magnesium and calcium and all these different things. But, you know, it's not like you have to go out and eat an entire seashell, you know, every day to get the calcium you need. You don't need that much. Yeah,
Right.
you don't need that much. Some studies say that we actually get plenty of calcium. It's just that we don't have enough vitamin K, vitamin D, and magnesium to process the calcium. Everything works together. Everything works together.
Sure does.
Yeah, and sleep is so important too. Sleep is important with all of your health, right? Because that's when most of your healing takes place.
Right. It's when you restore yourself.
Yeah. So you kind of got into the keto way before I did, and you lost some pretty good weight. Your daughter, how much weight did she lose on keto?
I don't remember. Last year at this time, I lost 27 pounds.
27 pounds. And wouldn't it have been a lot easier if you had had a product that would have controlled your hunger and your appetite?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it would.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what the Sisel Thin does. Is Sisel Thin has BHB, beta hydroxybutyrate, which is a salt that they discovered that your body produces when it goes into ketosis, and it triggers your body to burn fat as an energy. So all of a sudden, you're a fat burning machine. But we've got fucoxanthins, right? And they come from the fucoidan plant. Right?
Right. The brown seaweed.
Brown seaweed. And they found that the fucoxanthins, they are thermogenic.
Right. I went on PubMed and looked that all up. I put that term in and found all kinds of research on that.
Yeah? Was it good research on that? Yeah.
Yeah, it was saying that it was highly effective in creating thermogenesis.
Yeah. Tom was talking about that on the call this morning. He was saying that you know, he's kind of kept that in the back of his mind for the last 20 years, that it was that the fucoxanthins were so good at being a thermogenic, but he's never put it in a product as a thermogenic. He just kind of kept that stored in the back of his brain, waiting for the right time to use it. And my dog came over, so I'd see what he was doing. But anyhow, he kept that in the back of his mind. And so then when he saw the BHBs and he figured out how to combine them along with the ashwagandha, right? And we've talked about what ashwagandha does.
Oh, ashwagandha is great, and it controls the cortisol. I just read an article where if you have too much cortisol, you have a hard time sleeping at night. How many people have a hard time sleeping at night? Why do we have too much cortisol? We have too much stress in our life. How many people have too much stress in their life?
Everyone, except for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But exactly. And ashwagandha helps control that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Adaptogenic, they call it. Yeah. So it helps with controlling the stress. And stress, like you said, increases the cortisol. And cortisol is it's a diet sabotager. It sabotages every diet.
And you know, most people, I think by now know what cortisol is, but a typical body would be someone who has a belly on them is having too much cortisol.
Too much cortisol. Yep.
Creates weight around the middle.
Yeah. Well, and then all of that creates problems with the kidney when you have too much inflammation, when you have too much cortisol. It triggers problems with the kidneys, and the American Kidney Institute is saying that we're heading for disaster the health of the kidneys. That's the future in the next 20 to 30 years, is that our kidneys are going to be destroyed. But yet they don't come out and tell people, hey, cut back on the sugars, cut back on the high fructose corn syrup. And really honestly, Andrea, and this is my own thought. I haven't read it in any research. It's just my own thought. I think they're going to find that high fructose corn syrup is actually the trigger for the rise that we're seeing in so many different kinds of cancers.
Could be. Yep.
Yeah.
Because cancer loves sugar, and it's basically a sugar.
It's a sugar. Yeah. It's a sugar substitute.
Are you there?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a sugar substitute. So, well, Andrea, I think we've covered everything today. Plus, it's I can't get used to the delay between my internet and yours. One of us is having a problem with a delay in the internet. So, we've talked a lot about the weight loss. We've talked about how it's related to kidney health and cardiovascular. It's related to aging. We know that people that consume lots of sugar age faster. And now with the studies that are out, we've confirmed that it causes dementia and neurodegeneration. So I'll let you close out the call.
Yep.
Thanks for being with us.
So, yeah, folks, cut that sugar out of your diet. Don't forget that carbohydrates are sugar in the body. Do a little research and learn what you can. Follow me in Doc's calls here. Look back at old lives that we've done on this topic, which, we've done several in the last 2 months. So you can get yourself educated and be healthy, be strong. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.